Mallorca Cycling Center Academy, Wojciech Beran's School of Cycling. Training blog. Developing your endurance. As you know, your physical performance depends on a few closely connected components through which the athlete develops speed, strength, and endurance in order to give the best possible performance. The main question is how to combine these components throughout the training year to reach the peak of our physical performance. In today's episode, we're going to tell you how to get it right. Endurance training is one of the basic training patterns every cyclist usually enjoys. So what is this training pattern you need to implement into your training rides actually like? Endurance training. Cycling is a sport which is basically fully built on endurance. Endurance is the ability to carry on with your physical activity as the fatigue hasn't come yet. We distinguish long-term, medium-term, short-term, and speed endurance. Every level of endurance can be developed through a different form of training. Endurance training teaches your body to work on an economical level for a longer period of time with a minimal energy output and a few-hour constant load. This type of training is also, due to its easy course, suitable as the recovery training. In this training form, your body gains the energy from the fat metabolism. Endurance training is the very first training pattern of every cyclist. The training should take from 6 minutes to the length of the race you would like to prepare for. The intensity is watched and checked with the help of the heart rate monitor and/or power meter. For long-term and medium-term endurance, the heart rate stays between 65 and 99% in a flat profile, and between 89 and 93% in climbs of your maximum heart rate. Types of endurance training. Firstly, as a compensatory activity. The least physically demanding endurance training is called compensatory training. It is all about an easy, relaxed ride with the minimal effort in a flat or slightly undulated profile. Use a low gear with a focus on fluent round pedaling at a higher cadence. This type of training improves the blood circulation and helps wash away the lactic acid from your muscles. The training should last anytime from 10 minutes to 2 hours. The length should match your physical ability and it shouldn't exceed half of the length of your usual training. The intensity should be from 50 to 82% of your maximum heart rate. This kind of training can be applied once to 6 times a week at any time throughout the year. Secondly, developing long-term and medium-term endurance. With the development of long-term and medium-term endurance, the aerobic capacity of your body improves. The number of capillaries that deliver blood to your muscles increases. The mitochondrial density and the volume of blood grows, and the heart rate in the given training intensity decreases. The long-term and medium-term endurance foundation is formed by a long-term and continuous activity with moderate to medium intensity in a flat or slightly undulated profile with climbs of 2 to 4%. We ride in a flat or slightly undulated profile. There is a basic simple rule. The fitter rider I am, the faster I can go, and the more hilly profile I can ride in. Basic endurance means low-term to medium-term intensity. The Fartlike Method presents a very effective approach here. This is when a swift ride around the aerobic threshold alternates with an easy, relaxed, compensatory ride. In your training, it is not the speed that is so crucial, but the right intensity applied in the right time. The cadence should be between 90 and 120 revs per minute. The training is characterized by smooth, swift pedaling. The body and arms stay still in a comfortable position. In order to fulfill the plan of the training, it is necessary to spend at least 80% of its time in the given heart rate zones. Training in a group offers an ideal variation of speed, and the ride itself also becomes more fun. The fitter you get, the more hilly profile you can ride. You are able to deliver a better performance and ride faster at the same heart rate. Mountain bike riders should choose the kind of terrain where they can keep the relevant intensity: gravel roads, fluent trails, and forest paths without serious climbs. Climbing in long-term and medium-term endurance. In order to develop long-term endurance, you should ride gentle or moderate climbs and graduate your pace up to your anaerobic threshold at most. Sprint in the last 20 meters of the climbs and get over the horizon at full speed. This type of training should be implemented from 1 to 7 times a week at any time of the year. Here are some instructions on how to climb in long-term and medium-term endurance. Gentle climb 2 to 4%. These are usually long climbs where you can ride easily with low or higher gears. Medium climb 4 to 6%. These climbs are a bit steeper, but you can still ride them with lighter gear. More trained cyclists can ride them with higher gears. This approach is more demanding because these climbs are often quite long. Steep climbs, 6 to 8%. These are steeper climbs which can be found mainly in the mountains. They are ridden with low gears using the small front chain ring. They can be short or long, and that's why it's a good idea to lay your strengths out evenly. Very steep climbs, 8 to 10%. These are very steep climbs which need to be ridden in very low gears using the small chain ring. They often require riding out of the saddle or a combination of in and out of the saddle. Extremely steep climbs, 10% and more. Such climbs can be found in remote areas or high mountains. They are approached only with the lowest gears using only the small chain ring. They are usually ridden out of the saddle. Riders often combine pedaling in and out of the saddle. Thirdly, developing power endurance with the fixed gears. Fixie. When we use the fixed gears to develop power endurance, we actually improve all the elements together: endurance, power, speed, and load. This training pattern is suitable only for more experienced riders who would like to improve their fitness and pedaling technique. Start in a flat profile, then gradually add some moderate climbs. The training should be focused on medium intensity with the aim to improve the power endurance in an undulated profile. The rider should always keep an aerodynamic position holding the drops. During climbs, the position can change from the drops to holding the bars at the tops. The cadence should stay between 90 and 120 revs per minute. This kind of training is suitable for developing complex endurance skills and the pedaling technique. The training sessions should last from 60 to 240 minutes, and the intensity should stay at 72 to 93% of your maximum heart rate, with climbs at the level of 88 to 93% of your maximum heart rate. This kind of training can be included only once a week in the preliminary pre-race or race training period. In our next episode of Mallorca Cycling Center Academy, we will focus on training patterns which can improve your power endurance. You have been guided through this episode by our professional trainer, Wojciech Beran, MA. Would you like to make the most of your cycling? Do not hesitate and join our team in Mallorca. Mallorca Cycling Center, the international bicycle rental of BMC and Colnego bikes. International training cycling camps for all age and performance groups. Experienced and certified trainers, guides, mechanics, physiotherapists, and masseurs. Do you want to train in Mallorca? Then come with MallorcaCyclingCenter.com. Join us and make the most of your cycling in Mallorca. Bookings on MallorcaCyclingCenter.com.